Do you think narcissists and abusers have to be intelligent to be abusive?
Not necessarily. There's not really a correlation between intelligence and manipulation. However, the ones who are more intelligent tend to get away with it more, is what I understand. So I think it can work in their favor, but it's not a requirement.
I find them more strategic, right? So shift this into the intelligence of the survivors and the victims, because I constantly hear from people that they feel stupid for staying and I'm too smart for that. And I even feel like there's some cognitive dissonance in that. Like, I'm too smart to be abused, therefore this must not be abuse.
Absolutely. Great point. I think there's a lot of individuals who are highly intelligent and get sucker punched or duped, as I like to say. And so they're really blindsided and bewildered by, how can they be this successful, this intelligent, this capable in life? And then this relationship happened and they feel like they have no idea what happened or like how to get out of it. So I think the cognitive dissonance comes in when they are understanding what they're capable of, but at the same time, they've been manipulated into questioning everything. So their intelligence doesn't really matter as far as getting them out of it, which could sound bleak, but it makes sense to how powerful this type of manipulation and coercion really is.
Yeah. I feel like if you don't logic your way into it, if it's not about intelligence, then that's probably not the path out either, right? Trauma bonds are like, they hold on. They're so resistant to change.
Yeah. If we could just think our way out of something like this, then it would be easy. But I think we really need to get our emotional understanding back online, which is difficult because that's what's been hijacked, right? So it's not really as simple as just being smart enough to overcome it.
Yeah. I think, another piece that has made it hard, I know for me, was the hope. Like, I lived on the hope that he would be the person he said he was, the person from the beginning. And I didn't know at the time that I was in a trauma bond, but that's that deep, horrible attachment, right? One of the most addictive relationship patterns I've ever heard of. And the hope is something that really stuck with me. How have you seen that show up for your clients?
It's like one of those police dogs that's commanded to bite and they don't let go until you tell it to let go, but it never lets go, kind of a thing. It's incredible because I think it's in our nature to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And so we hold on to hope. So I've heard it referred to as pathological hope. I don't really like that term because I think it's reasonable to want to hope, but it also can get you into trouble if you don't have the right expectation of like, this isn't going to change. There's really nothing you can hope into this dynamic. But I've seen everybody hold on to the hope that there's something they're missing, or there's something that could be done, or there's something that could be said that's going to be like that magic thing, to get things on the right path or the right trajectory. And sadly, there needs to be an acceptance of what someone's willing or not willing to do in a relationship. And it's really hard. But yeah, the hope is a very challenging one.
Yeah. I think, that hope that they'll be better, it leads you to try to explain it differently and try to show up differently yourself and try to make sense of things that just don't make sense. And ultimately, I remember learning that there's a phrase called a trauma bond. I still remember that, learning that not from being educated in a school, being educated by my own therapist, that's the name of this desperate feeling that I have towards wanting to be with somebody who treats me so horribly. And I think fundamentally, a lot of people don't understand it. And it's taking us back to the conversation about intelligence. Like, you just feel stupid. Why would you love somebody who hurts you? That makes no sense. But the name of it actually helped me. So for people that don't actually know, right, a trauma bond is an unhealthy attachment that exists really in any relationship, doesn't have to just be a romantic one, where there's abuse, devaluation, and it's mixed with kindness and positive intermittent reinforcement. And I would say that's like the clinical definition. How does it feel?
It's that push-pull dynamic. It's incredible how many times your mind throughout the day can vacillate between what it knows it needs and then what it can't walk away from, and the second guessing and the doubting, the self-doubt, the self-blame, trying to negotiate and navigate, what part am I contributing to this? It feels like it's torture. It's emotional torture. I mean, it really is. It sounds dramatic, but you're like in a prison because it's a paralysis of sorts. I mean, it really is hard. Most people think logically, this isn't working, I'm just going to move on, figure out something that works. But I think it's hard for people to wrap their minds around this reality that there really is a paralysis that takes place, almost like I call it a hijacking of your entire system. So you don't have permission to just walk away. You don't even have permission to think about it accurately because of all of the coercion and manipulation. And like you said, that intermittent reinforcement, it perpetuates and predicts the same behavior happening over and over in a victim. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would equate it to like, it's like in my book, I call it emotional quicksand. It's like the further you try to move and dig and understand it, the further you're in it. It's like a vicious cycle. So,
Yeah, you keep trying to break free. And I don't know, again, you can't logic your way out of it. You can't just think and decide, obviously, this person is mean and I want to leave, because the confusion, the hope, the fear, the guilt, the anger, right? It all just keeps you. But it ultimately is why it feels impossible to leave. And you get these withdrawals when you are trying to leave. Like the anxiety was crippling for me. I couldn't even bear it. And that, I think, in so many ways, that's really what led me back multiple times. What leads anybody back is you can't stand the thought of not being with them, even though you don't want to be with them.
yeah, you talk yourself back into it. That ambivalence of not knowing exactly what's right and what's wrong, you can talk yourself back into just staying and seeing, maybe I missed something, I'm going to figure it out. And I don't know, I've never heard it be successful. If there's a true manipulator, like somebody who's truly not playing fair, there's nothing you're going to figure out. You know?
Yeah, that's very true. So you and I are hosting a free workshop called Why It Feels Impossible to Leave later this month. So I really want to invite people to sign up and get into this workshop. Don't miss your chance to be part of this. And we're really going to unpack why it feels so impossible, so you can really start the process of getting yourself out of this and start breaking a trauma bond.
Absolutely. I think we're going to unveil some of the mysteries of this that aren't really well known in other fields. It might not be things that you're going to hear from, maybe the person that you're currently working with. And I don't mean that in any negative way. I just mean it's not yet fully determined. Let me say that again. Not everybody has a full grasp on what it actually means to be in one of these bonds and what it takes to get out of them. And so I think some of the traditional methods that people are offered kind of fall short, and not because they're not effective for other things, but this is just something that is so insidious and pervasive, and it goes beyond a lot of the more traditional interventions. So we're talking about things that are related to your nervous system, your conscious and unconscious mind, your core belief system, and these behavioral priming tactics that cause people to no longer have the ability to just walk away from something abusive. So we're going to cover some pretty cutting edge new things in this that are going to be new information for people. So I think it's going to be very important for people who are stuck in this way to get the latest understanding of what it's really like to be in one of these bonds and what it takes to dismantle them.
So if you are ready for this kind of healing, you're ready to learn something that you can't just find in any old YouTube video, please join us for this workshop.